What's going on, y'all? So listen. Oh, y'all, what's going on? First of all, happy Sunday. And it is so crazy that I found out about this on the Sunday. You know, they said it's God Day. But let's just get into it right quick because baby, I wasn't expecting to watch this. Girl, I was up here supposed to be trying to catch up on the ultimatum quit love, okay? Because y'all all up in my inbox and all that stuff. Are you going to review it? Are you going to review it? Review it? 9 out of 10 is no. Talk about it? 9 out of 10, yes. When I actually get through watching. Girl, I'm 4 episodes behind, okay? I'm 4 episodes behind. But, you know, eventually Ashley will get there. But listen, girl. I was scrolling on Twitter. Somebody had said something about, you know, how Michelle Duggars basically said, and if y'all have not seen or know who we talking about, this is the Duggars, okay? She basically has said in this documentary that, or I guess when she was on 19 and Counting, or when she was talking somewhere, I can't remember. Either way, she and her husband had got pregnant when she was on birth control. And then they miscarried, okay? And then so they got off birth control and then they had twins. And then she was like, basically, she felt as though God was punishing her for being on birth control, all that stuff, whatever. So I'm sitting here like, girl, what? And so, you know, they told us what the documentary was, and it was a docu-series that's called Shiny Happy People. And I had no idea that this came out this year. And I didn't even know that they was doing a documentary on a docu-series or whatever on the Duggar family. It is on Amazon Prime, and it's only 4 episodes. And baby, when I tell you, as soon as you watch the first episode, you're going to have to watch all 4, okay? And I believe, like, they're no long. I think the longest episode is like 51 minutes, and then the last episode is only 37 minutes, okay? And the first one is 45, and the second one is probably the third one probably 45 too. So when I tell you, if you need something to watch real quick to keep your interest or whatever after, you know, the TV shows that you're watching tonight go ahead and click on Amazon Prime and watch this mess because, my goodness, I don't know what it is, and I think, honestly, it's because of the fact that I grew up, and if you are new here and this is your first time, IBLS or IBLP, Institute of Basic Life Principles. Okay, if you are new here, I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, all right? And if you know the controversies about Jehovah's Witnesses and stuff like that, you already know how a lot of people feel that it's a cult, you know? People don't realize that it is a branch off of, it's Christianity. It's another, what is it called? Denomination or whatever, because that's what people get confused. And that's because a lot of these cults, to be quite honest, they branch off of religion. They're like a different version of what they perceive Christianity to be sometimes. And some of them, they be just so far off, whatever. You just be like, girl, what? Say, for instance, Scientology. When I found out about Scientology, I said, that's exactly what I said. I said, y'all believe in what? No wonder why Tom Cruise be acting the way he be. And have you noticed, like, Scientology will get all the celebrities or whatever. They get all of the celebrities. And y'all heard about that Danny Matheson boy, okay? Like, when that shit came out, that stuff came out about him, you know, doing what he did to those women, and he found guilty on 2 of those charges or whatever. Man is gonna go to jail for a while, and he needs to, because they was hiding behind that Scientology situation to, you know, not have him face what he did or whatever. And that's just really ridiculous. If a religion, you are supposed to be about helping people, wanting people to do good, but yet you focus all your attention on how the man is the leader and he can get away with any and everything, and the woman and the children are supposed to just automatically obey and do whatever it is that he say, and they supposed to take whatever it is that he gives, okay? And whatever it is that he does, because God don't like it when you get divorced, or God don't like when you talk back. All of this stuff, this false narratives or whatever. And I'm just sitting here like, so it's okay for the men to be assholes, but it's not okay for the women to give that shit back. So the women got to be perfect and pure and virginal, but the men can be out here and be whores. It could be assholes. It could be murderers and all of this stuff. And it is okay. Girl, it is just a lot with these cults or whatever. And it baffles me when certain women get involved in these cults or whatever when they're adults. Now, I can see growing up in it, like, again, I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, okay? And I've done a couple of videos on my experience, and each time that I've done a video, you know, it took me a minute or whatever between those times to do it, to basically come to the real conclusion of what it is, that, yeah, it's a cult. It's a branch of Christianity, but a lot of the stuff that is done is a cult, you know? And to be honest, and I even tweeted this, if you look at, you know, because when I started my videos off, you know, I was saying, you know, people do say that it's a cult, but I don't see it. People had negative, you know, opinions about it, but that just literally wasn't my experience or whatever. But then as I got older, I started thinking back, and I had started talking to my sister, and I was like, okay, yeah, that did happen. That did happen. And it was like, maybe I kind of locked some things out. And then, you know, talking to my sister, it was jogging memories of stuff that actually did happen. And I was like, oh shit, well, yeah, I can see why people say it's cult-like or it's a cult. And then I'm coming to the conclusion that, bitch, is damn near a cult. It's a cult. You know, my sister refused to call it nothing but that. And it is what it is. I know some people that, and no shade to the Jehovah's Witnesses that watch me, because I have ex-Jehovah's Witnesses that watch me, and I have current Jehovah's Witnesses that watch me. This is just my experience, okay? But at the same time, it's like, if you think about it, if you really think about it, when it comes to religion and certain things, like, and I had to tweet this, mind you, it's on a Sunday, and I hate to have done this, but, and even me saying that, you know, it's just like, any type of religion can be looked at as a cult. Just like we look at Scientology or even the Mormon faith or whatever, the fundamentalists and stuff like that, and these, you know, FDLS and stuff like that, we look at them as cults. And Jehovah's Witnesses, they can look at Catholics as cults. They can look at, you know, all of Christianity as cults, okay? Because at the end of the day, you see exactly what's going on in the world, okay? You see especially what's going on right here in the United States, you know? The country was founded on the religion of Christianity, and they want everybody and their mama to abide by all of those rules, you know what I'm saying? That is why the right wings are coming in, and they're trying, they wanted certain laws abolished, and they want to go back to where certain people had no rights, and then they're hiding behind religion as the reason why they want to do this, okay? As if Christianity is the only religion that people follow. And, you know, and even if you don't feel that way, you have to understand also, in just about every religious sect there is, denomination, whatever it is that it is, there are people who take it above and beyond and make it extreme, and those people make it cult-like. You know what I'm saying? You know, we've seen that happen with certain religions or whatever, and it gives those religions bad names and all that stuff, and, you know, it's very much unfortunate. And so when I'm looking at this, I don't know, and like, again, because I've been there, I guess I kind of look at just about every documentary or docu-series that there is about religious situations and stuff, and I've noticed that there's a pattern. There's a pattern of abuse. There's a pattern of control. There's a pattern of basically the women having no rights. There's a pattern of being money behind it and everything. And it's a pattern of secrecy with all of these situations, you know what I'm saying? And so I just find it fascinating to understand and to see different factions and different types that have happened. And bitch, now let me tell you something. Shiny Happy People was about the Duggar family, okay? And it spawned off until the little IBLP shit. Now, I ain't never heard nothing like that. Now, I know about the fundamentalists, okay? Them motherfuckers is crazy. You know, no shade if you watching and you want. I'm just saying, because some of y'all, after looking at this and looking at other stuff on, girl, it is a lot. And it just making me mad. I was looking at all 4 of these episodes, and even on the first episode, I was just sitting here like, how can you let this happen? Why would you follow somebody that sounds like this, okay? You have the IBLP, which I said was the Institute in Basic Life Principles. It was this man named Bill Gohart, he was the one that was the leader of it, right? He's giving out, and I think he's still alive, and I think he lived out here in Chicago. He was giving out all these principles about how you're supposed to live as a Christian, how you're supposed to live as a husband, as the wife, as a child. The blanket training. Baby, when I heard that shit, I said, are you serious? Are you serious? It's like it's like they don't want people to be people and people to be human and having the natural reactions that they're supposed to have, especially the kids. Gentle parenting don't work up in them households, okay? Gentle parenting don't work up in them households, baby. Girl, they was up there talking about something. You gotta spank them bitches. You gotta spank them kids, okay? Whoop their ass with whatever you see around. And I said, oh my goodness, you wanna know what this reminded me of? You wanna look at something else. Like I said, this is on Amazon Prime, okay? Go on HBO Max, whatever, that's what we still gonna call it, Max, whatever. The Way Down. That's what it's called. Either it's called WEIGH or WAYD down. Either way, with the Gwen Chamberlain, oh my goodness. When that black couple beat the dog shit out their kid and put him in a locked him up or whatever and said, well, this is what they said that we supposed to discipline and make them learn and all this stuff. This is how the punishment go. I said, why is it that the kids get the brunt of this shit? The kids and the women. Do you think that this is really right? Do you want your kids to actually respect you and love you or fear you? Baby, I don't want to walk around fearing my parents, okay? And it just make me mad because it just happened to be a case that just happened on the 27th where this girl out there, I think in the Bronx, either Brooklyn or the Bronx, and I'm pretty sure some of y'all know because I seen it on TikTok before it got onto like the blogs or whatever. Her baby was killed and she beat her baby to death, okay? And it was a video of her, the little girl, and she's asking her question and how you doing and you like this or whatever, and the little girl was so scared to answer. And I'm like, why are you recording this? Mind you, the girl already had her arm, she had her hand, like a little cast on her hand, she had a band-aid on her head already, and cute little girl too. And you could just tell something wasn't right, and then come to find out she beat the child to death. Tried to take her to the hospital and say, she just was unresponsive and tried to act like she ain't had nothing to do with it. Come to find out, you go up into the house is full of feces and it's dirty and all this shit. She got 2 other kids, a 3-year-old and an 8-year-old, and they beat the fuck up and cut up as well. I said, see, girl, I was just like, are you serious? Why do the kids have to get the brunt of it? And that's why people be like, they don't want to whoop their kids, okay? And I get it in situations like this. And you are a religious or so-called religious sect/cult that's up here telling, bend that bitch over and, or bend that child over. Why do I keep saying that? I'm sorry, y'all. No disrespect, so I'm not trying to be, I just curse a lot, so I'm just trying to censor that. So, but anyway, lay that child over. And then when he demonstrated it, I said, I don't want you touching my child, okay? And spank him. And then one dude talking about some animals and humans are basically the same, that you could discipline them the same, like whooping their asses. And I'm just sitting here like, what? What? Oh my God. And it's crazy because a lot of us grew up with getting whoopings, okay? And I still feel like people don't understand the difference between a whooping and a beating. Now, if you get spanked or whatever, that's a spanking/whooping. You get tapped or whatever, okay? When you get a belt or your parents using whatever object they got, the extension cord especially, and you get hit to the point where they leaving fucking marks on your body, baby, that's a goddamn beating, okay? And that is not cool. That is not cool at all, So I understand where gentle parenting comes in, but sometimes you do gotta just pop a motherfucker like, God damn, sit your ass down. But when Michelle Duggars was putting out there talking about the blanket there training for a 6-month-old child, baby ain't even fucking 1. And you basically put him on the blanket, you lay down, let the baby lay there. And if the baby wants something in particular that he or she always want, you put that particular item right there, probably a couple of, a little space between it, and they try to reach for it and you pop the hand. What? Why are you playing? And all of this is supposed to be to get disciplined kids and all of that. And I'm sitting here like, It's a 6-month-old baby. Babies are supposed to do. Get that baby that damn toy so they can be quiet and have fun and be all right. Baby probably over there teething. Okay, you popping the hands just because. I said, what type of shit is this? Girl, I was so mad when I heard that. I was like, oh my goodness. And then when they was talking about music or whatever, you shouldn't be listening to music because rock music is bad, and even certain even the Christian music, you know, that's still music for the devil, and it's very satanic, and it came from the jungle of West Africa. What the fuck we gotta do with it, bitch? I said, so y'all literally putting it out there that Africa is a bad place? I said, wow, so y'all still on those type of teachings and stuff? And then talking about all the way the women were being disrespected and had to just take a lot of things that was going on, and the women bear all of the responsibility as to not to entice the men in this situation, as with a lot of these cult type of situations. It is the women's responsibility to wear certain things that are covering up the whole body. You know, you have to cover up your shoulders. You have to have your legs covered up. You know what I'm saying? You can't wink at anybody because that's the invitation to her whoredom. Bitch, when I saw that word, I said, whoredom? I said, what? Oh my goodness, what is going on? I said, are y'all serious? And I always, when I look, let me tell you something. Why is it with some of these cults, especially like when you see the Duggars, you see those FDLS and all that stuff, they used to make me so mad when I see them, and the dresses that they had them wearing, the women, like, bitch, are we on Little House on the Prairie pilgrimage, or is we in 2023? Why are y'all wearing stuff like that? What is going on? Like, I understand that you trying to be pure and holy, but girl, do that in 2023. You can't find no up-to-date fashions that look like, you know, that cover your shoulders and your cleavage and your legs and stuff. Girl, if you don't go put on a black skirt and a regular shirt, what? I was just like, why do y'all dress like that? And the way Michelle Duggar always have her hair, oh my goodness. And I couldn't stand the way the FDLS people had their hair. And if you go, you got to go watch the documentary. I think I talked about that too on Netflix for the FDLS. Oh, Sweet Pray Obey. Yeah, they explained exactly why they put their hair like that, and they wore the stuff. And that was just, honestly, that was more disgusting than this, but it's damn near the same. You literally got the kids and people going to training camps or whatever, you know, training for the military, or basically training for Christian world domination in the worst way. Y'all not going about it the right way, as if everybody in this world is a Christian, and they're not. And who says that everybody has to choose Christianity as their religion? You know, trying to convince people not to be atheists and stuff like that. God gave us, you're preaching about God and everything, but I guess you missed the memo that God gave you, you know, your own brain and your own mind so that you can make your own decision. And that's why we have our own opinion. And I do not like when people go out there trying to convince people to do other things. Like, no, let that come to them naturally. If they're interested in it, let it come to them naturally. Don't try to force it on people, whatever. God, that's why I couldn't stand going door to door. When I used to do field service in Jehovah's Witness, I just couldn't stand going door to door. I just couldn't stand it. Meanwhile, you got that going on, these training camps or whatever that they had the kids go to, the girls getting sexually molested and raped or whatever when they supposed to be pure, right? But your child getting upset if the women are not all the way pure, or pure in general, meaning that they're not virgins or whatever, because they supposed to be pure for the man that they supposed to be with, right? But yet, y'all not getting upset at the men that's out here actually doing this stuff. You know, they're not really getting punished like that, okay? Meanwhile, one girl, she said when she was up in there, she was like 14 or whatever. They went to Walmart to go get some supplies and stuff, you know, hygiene stuff. She went and got some tampons. Baby, they looked up in her bag and they found the tampons, and they took them tampons away, called them devil sticks, and said, how dare you get these, because these are, these took away your virginity when it's supposed to be meant for your husband. I said, girl, you should have got you some pads. You should have got you some pads. But the thing of it is, they don't teach them about sex. They don't teach them about the world. They keep them so stupid at this point, because there's also this thing where they intentionally have them homeschool. And to find out, which makes pretty much a lot of sense, that part of the reason why the institution of homeschooling came about was because of when the schools was trying to get integrated back in the day, you know, civil rights era, okay, when they was doing the integration of school. You know what I'm saying? And I said, damn, so it's based off of racism. Man, I said, God, fuck. You know, I was sitting here like, can we not do nothing without race? But then I'm sitting here looking at the whole thing like, where is the black person up in this? Because I just feel like y'all just don't fuck with us, okay? You know, Mormonism just not getting black people up in there. They still kind of look, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, you know, and you know, a lot of them, these cult people, they are right wingers. They are very much uber conservatives. You know what I'm saying? And to find out the situation about how, and of course, you got this leader, Bill Guthart, who is preaching about how you should be with a wife, with your husband, and how you should be with your wife and your kids and all this stuff, and how you should man the household, and how your kids should respect you, and how your wife should be submissive to you, and all this stuff, and this umbrella of hierarchy and all this, and woo woo woo. Meanwhile, you are telling people how to control their household and how to live their household, and you ain't even married. And you ain't got no kids, but you out here playing around with people, okay? Playing around with the young girls. I said, oh, they sued his ass, and then they kind of lost, but then he tried to counter sue, and when them people came up there and they told their testimony, they said, drop that case. Girl, y'all, he ain't got no right to counter sue y'all, because we believe y'all. I said, and retry his old ass. Okay, nasty bitch, taking them up in offices and touching them and getting aroused and all this stuff. I said, oh my goodness. Meanwhile, one woman, gave her experience about how, of course, she never had sex before. She don't know nothing about it. And then it's basically like an arranged situation. The father picks out who he wants you to marry. And it's like the women have no freaking control over themselves. The men are in control and responsible for them. So until they get married, the father is responsible for them. And then the husband is responsible for them. And then if they don't get none of that, whoever else in the family is a man, they're the one that's responsible for them. I said, what the fuck? This girl said she got married to this guy when she was 18, 19 years old, didn't know him, wasn't attracted to him like that. Not saying that he was ugly, it's just that she didn't choose him or whatever. And you know, everything seemed cool or whatever. She ain't know what she was supposed to do. I mean, this is what she grew up, this was what she knew. Ain't nobody prepare her for what was gonna happen. Girl, she said on the wedding night, she got R word 3 times, and then wound up getting pregnant. I said, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And then that story scared the life out of me, because a lot of people go through stuff like this, where you have to this day in 2023, even people that are not in cults or whatever, you have men or people, and I ain't even gonna just say men, because you got women that be in relationships with women who are just as abusive too. You got people that are in their relationship that feel as though they are entitled to your body at any time that they want to, even if you say no. Okay, they believe that worrying your partner is not a real thing in your relationship, especially if you're married. They feel like they can have access to your body at any time they want to. You can't say no, and even if you do say no, it don't matter. Okay, that lady said that man was trying to beat her ass, was beating her ass, was just being angry with her for no reason. And at one point, you know, she told the people, they up there basically trying to say, well, you need to stick it out and figure out what you doing wrong to make him feel this way. I said, what? So you not gonna get mad at him for out here cussing her out, whooping her ass, and at one point he was hollering at her all this shit and chasing her around the house for 4 hours. And mama said, bitch, he left the house. He left the house. She said, girl, this is my window of opportunity to get the fuck up out of there. She said, if I hadn't left when he left out and took my kids and shit, bitch, he would have came back and killed them, because he went to the office to go get his gun. I said, oh my gosh. All right. This is the situation. Y'all don't give a fuck about women in these cults, but you need them to breed. That's all that you do. You look at them as breeding machines, and that's all the reason why you want to go back to olden time, because back then, women didn't have any rights. Women couldn't say anything, and that's just what it is, because you want to feel like you're in control. And then you get over here with the Duggar family, baby, when they went in about how TLC basically made this a promotional, and I don't even think TLC realized that this is what they were doing, because nobody really knew unless you was actually involved in that situation, that cult or whatever, or in something like that, knew what they type of teachings were. And so at the same time, you get the interest in the Duggars. I did not know he was all up in politics the way that he was. I never really watched the show, but I knew about him. Okay, just about everybody knew about the Duggars because of the fact that, you know, they were multiple kids up in that bitch. Like, that bitch just kept on getting pregnant. It was like every year she was pregnant. And it was like, damn, girl, your uterus should be on the floor. I know it. You can't even sniffle without pissing on your... You can't tell me the floor in your uterus is strong, bitch. That bitch got to be weak as shit. And I understand that's, you know, back in the day, that's just how it was. Women used to have multiple births. But we are... Girl, you don't need to do that. For what? And then you got to work 3 fucking jobs or more because you need money to pay for all these kids. And then you get a little... a spotlight for an episode, and then you get a special episode, and then you get a little bit of money. Part of the deal was for them to get money to fix the new house that was going to be big enough for them, and then they get the TV show. Meanwhile, we get the typical thing of what happened with certain, like this. The Duggar family pissed me off to the extent the way that family bloggers piss me off, especially Christian family bloggers. Because they're literally, and I think out here in Illinois, they just passed a bill so that, you know, these kids that be in these social media family blogs or whatever, they can get paid, okay? Because a lot of the families do not pay their kids, or they granted their kids, they do not set anything away for them so that they can get the money that they help make. You know, the people are tuning in for the kids. They're not really tuning in for y'all. You know what I'm saying? And you put kids in danger. Y'all put kids in danger because, again, I understand you want to make content. You want to, you know, have a life on social media or whatever. So one of the quickest way is to use your kids, and you don't understand the danger that you're putting your kids into, because you have predators and pedophiles that are watching and storing and favoring a lot of the stuff, these images of these young kids. Okay, I would never. I would never. You know. And that's what it reminded me of with the Duggars. I don't like that. Like, they take so advantage. These vloggers, some of these family vloggers, again, they know that the kids are the draw, and they making them record all the time, and they don't even really want to most of the time. Okay, they just want to be a kid, you know. And when people call them out, it's, you know, they have to put up a video and, oh, they being attacked and all this stuff, and they still keep on doing it. I just seen a video clip of how this one couple or whatever, I don't know how long ago this happened, but they was going to be adopting a kid from Thailand, and they decided not to because the adoption agency said once you get the baby, you can't put them on social media of any kind for a year. That first year. And because they're content creators and they want to show this they said, no, we can't do that. I said, damn, bitch, you can't wait for 1 year? See, that's the stuff that I'm talking about. And then that's exactly what Jim Bob, that motherfucker, was doing. Jim Duggar was doing that with them kids, Jim and Michelle, but it was mostly Jim because he was the one getting paid from all of this. The daughter, Jill, her and her husband was in the docuseries, and they was talking about their experience because she was one of her older brother's victims, who he was molesting when they was younger. Okay, bitch. She told that man, I ain't working with your ass because you ain't giving me no money. And then when he tried to come around and give him money, he was trying to get him like minimum wage. Bitch, I've been on TV for 7+ years, and you mean to tell me you gonna give me minimum wage? Fuck that. And you want me to record on this and record on this and show this and show that? No, it ain't about that, okay? And like I was saying, TLC didn't realize that they put the Duggar family on, and with them putting the Duggar family on and having them put their ideals out there, whatever, they're spreading this whole cult situation, this IBLD thing. What is it? What is it? IBLP situation that is all over, okay? And basically their goal is to get into the government, to take over this and take over that. Oh my goodness, it was a mess because I didn't even know that they was friends with Mike Huckabee. I said, ew, that's disgusting, you know what I'm saying? And y'all making excuses for a lot of the stuff that's going on, you know? And when you hear about certain stuff and big corporation and messed up stuff that happen, a lot of these people that's getting caught doing this messed up stuff, 9 out of 10, they're on that side of conservatism, and they're so Christian filled, they're so about family values and being backed by these other big corporations out there. Like these people on here was backed by Hobby Lobby. And they got them in the jails, they got them in the police force, and that is scary. And I was just like, oh my goodness. It is so crazy. Like the main people that want to preach the whole thing about Christian values and family values and protecting this and protecting that. But Chad, y'all the main ones inside the family doing the dirty shit. And then when it comes out, it's like, oh, well, you know, we tried to get him help. Now, when it came down to Josh Duggar, oh my goodness. Y'all remember that story, okay? When first of all it came out that he was molesting his sisters, right? They said he molested at least, they said at the least 5 girls, okay? Mind you, a couple of them victims was his sisters, all right? And so Jill, she was a victim, she was on there, and she was like, she regretted doing that Kelly, what's her name? Kellyanne video. I don't know. She did a interview on Fox News with this girl Kelly. Y'all remember Kelly? What's her name? Kellyanne? The conservative lady. Okay. She basically, they had set it up for them to get on there and to talk about the molestation and basically downplay it to make it seem like, oh, this is something that just happened. You know what I'm saying? It didn't go that far. It just touched outside of my clothes and it was, you know, we didn't know nothing about it. And I didn't even remember it until, you know, it came up. And I was just like, oh, that did happen. Like it was nothing. Come to find out it was more than that. Come to find out they felt different than that. And she said she wished she never would have did that because it was all a PR thing to clear up his image so that they can stay on air, and it was by his dad. Now, see, they had friends on the show, named Jim and Bobby, right? They said, bitch, he found out because when it came out, the news or whatever that Josh had did this at 15, they had found out at 15 years old that Josh was out here doing this stuff, right? And so dude said, well, Jim Bob, since you out here on, because he was in the Senate, or he was trying to be on the Senate, he was in the House of Representatives out there in Arkansas and everything. I said, so this nigga really was up in politics. No wonder why Josh was trying to be up in politics. And they always try to get up in politics. Always, never fails. And that's why I just don't trust politics. I don't trust politics on either side. You know, sometimes you have to pick the lesser of two evils, but you know, unfortunately, I understand why people do not vote because you really can't trust neither side. Trust and believe. But, you know, you got to vote if you want to make a difference. I don't know what type of difference is being made, but hey, it is what it is. He was like, you up here putting out bills and stuff about, you know, putting people on child registry for sexual child abuse, whatever. And yet your son ain't on there. He needs to be on there. And it was like, well, you need to also take him down there and tell the cops about this. He was like, well, yeah, I'm finna go down there and I'm finna take him tomorrow. You want to come? And he was like, I sure do. They went down there, talked to the sheriff or whatever, whoever the fuck it was. And dude said, well, since this your first offense, I'm gonna let you go. But if you do it again, I'm gonna have to do something more drastic. And I said, what? Jim said, Jim was like, come to find out, that was the Duggar daddy friend. That's why he let him go. Come to find out, that officer is also in jail for 50-some years for a whole bunch of child pornography that he had in possession. I said, no wonder why he let that motherfucker go. And then come to find out, the friend was like, I'm thinking all this started when he was 15, 16 years old. Come to find out, all of this really started when he was 12. I said, wow. And they just, and Michelle Duggar got upset when the friend's wife, Bobby, was saying that he was a molester. We don't say those words. He didn't do that. I said, girl, guess the fuck he did. And then it comes out that he got child porn on his computers and all this stuff, and he had a way to circumvent an app that he made that you could find out everything that's been on your that you looked up, especially if it's porn or whatever. But yet you on there using the office computer to look up child porn. And of course, we already know that he got sentenced to like 12.5 years or whatever. And my whole thing is this. All of this has caused division in the family. It was a cousin that was on there that was also on the documentary, Amy, who was always over there. And she was on the show for the Duggars, right? She haven't spoken to them in a while. And she was the Duggars' daddy, sister, daughter, okay? And she said, we were brought up strict, and I don't want to have my kid brought up that way, so I let her have the freedom that she had, okay? And so that's why she was a little bit more sane than everybody else, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, oh my goodness, and then when you talk about Michelle Duggar, like, girl, the whimsical way that she speaks in that soft tone or whatever, and it's just like, oh my God, you guys, it's time for bed. And we have to listen to the man of the house and, whatever it is that he wants to do, bitch. That alone would have made me be like, it's time to go. I do not know. I can't. Because that voice is fake, and come to find out, it is. They want them to talk that softness and everything. And I guess it's a tactic to draw people in or whatever. I don't know, but it ain't work on me, bitch. Okay? Girl, I just could never follow somebody who have hair like that and who speaks like that. It be the little things for me that'll make me turn off and be like, girl, what? But see, and then they make it so that basically they're dumb. They was like, I don't understand why Anna, who is Josh's wife, why she's still there and all of that, because they were like, 9 out of 10 is because she's not educated, because they had them homeschooled and they really wasn't teaching them stuff that's supposed to be taught, like real math and stuff like that. They had these wisdom principle books or whatever that they was teaching them, and they was teaching them false shit, talking about the fossils. They weren't whatever science was taught us about how fossils came about or whatever. No, they really came about from the Great Flood. I said, oh my God, you got these kids out here being dumb as shit. Okay, you got them being dumb as shit. They was like, the bitch probably don't know nothing, and she don't know how to do nothing, so she can't help but, because she ain't educated. I said, wow. And it's like, y'all do this stuff because you saying that you care about the family unit, you care about the people, but yet you are stunting their growth. You are telling them to put up with abuse. Okay, you're saying that it is okay for the men to sexually abuse women, to be pedophiles, because nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. We're going to move you from one location to another location, but nothing is going to happen. And that sounds just like a lot of stuff that happens in just about every religious situation, all right? I don't care what religion it is that you are, whether you're Christian, whether you're Muslim, whether you're Jewish, whether you're Buddhist, Hindu, whatever the freak. I'm pretty sure that there are people that have sexual abuse allegations and stuff, and that it's been covered up. We've seen it at the Catholic Church. We know that it goes down in other denominations of Christianity. We know that because I told y'all about the stuff that goes on with the Jehovah's Witnesses. Oh yeah, they do that, and they ain't gonna tell the cops. They ain't gonna tell the cops either. You know what I'm saying? And now you see what happened up in these coats, Scientology and shit. All right, like all of that shit. It's ridiculous. God damn. Baby, I'm glad that motherfucker got jail time. And you know what? That bitch probably still, and I'm sorry again to call her a bitch because she don't know no better. Girl, when they was trying to force them to film or whatever, I said, jail. Tell them to get the fuck up out of there. Okay? And at one point, she was like, I don't want my birth of my child being filmed. And she tried to put her foot down, but the daddy said, bitch, you gonna film this shit. I said, oh my God. Oh my God. It is a mess. To know how deep this shit goes, it's just ew. And again, I know Lisa Remini, did the thing about the Scientology. Let me look up what they believe so I can get that right. What do Scientology believe? People have innate yet suppressed power and ability which can be regained if clear. What? I know that bitch was from a book. Christian. Oh, I thought they said Christian Bale. And then that lady, and then the man Danny Matheson, his wife was crying and shit. Oh, you should have been crying when you found out that he was up here doing what he was doing, and ain't nobody tell you to stay with that man. And see, that's the thing. That's what it is. Like, y'all be saying that the men can go ahead and get away with all this stuff, and you supposed to stick by their side. F that. Since you say the bed is the bed head of the household. F that. It says recruiting and retaining Scientologists, celebrities, and getting them to endorse Scientology to the public at large has been important to the Church of Scientology since its early days. The organization has written a program governing celebrity recruitment since at least 1955. Early interest. Oh, Gloria Swanson. What? Notable celebrity scientists: Ann Archer, Nancy Cartwright, Erica Christensen, Jenna Elfman. Isaac Hayes was a goddamn Scientologist. Is that true? Michael Pena. I already knew about Greta Van. What? And see, Giovanni. Girl, what the fuck? Oh. I already knew about John Travolta. That is, ooh, wow. But anyway, y'all tell me how y'all feel. I'm telling y'all, go watch it for yourself and come back and be like, bitch, what? Okay, because that's how I was the whole time. I'm just sitting there like, and you know what? I shouldn't be surprised. But it's like every time I hear about something different, it's all the same. But at the same time, I be still shocked as shit. Like, this is really going on. It's really going on. But again, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Sunday. And I hope I didn't disturb it with this. Open up a Bible. I'll see y'all later. Peace.